Welcome back, everybody. We just heard from Papo MC, the man starting in 7th in chips on this final table. The only two people he's ahead of are Anton Morgenstern and Gerald Karlik, two very well-known pros from Europe. But it is Peter Chien, the chip leader from Canada, with 133 big blinds, taking down this first prize, 720,000 reals for first. Everyone now guaranteed 40,000, and of course they've all won their main event seat, which they will play tomorrow. Anton under the gun, +2 ace-5 of diamonds. 800,000, 1.6 million, so it's a minimum raise. Peter in the next seat does just flat, as you would expect. And Gerald finds ace-king in the cutoff. I imagine this will just be a jam from him. There it is. And this is going to be pretty dicey when it gets back round to Peter. He knows Gerald can make this move with some smaller pairs. Other than, of course, when he has trapped. But given there aren't that many short stacks around, I don't think he'd be trapping that higher frequency.
40 million, 300.
He does make the call, and it is a flip. 10-3-3. So far, so good for the Canadian. 2 diamonds on the board. Gerald does have the king of diamonds, so can turn some additional outs. There we go. That's what he has done. Back to 30%. He's a lot of outs. 13 to be precise. 4 on the end. That does it, and Peter further extends his lead at this table. Gerald Karlik out in 9th place, picking up 40,000 reals. Thiago has such a strong range at raising it under the gun. I'm surprised he didn't go for the 3-bet, but it's nice to have some traps in there. Maybe thought Thiago would just play too honest. Or too scared, I should say, given the ICM considerations if you face a 3-bet from Peter. This way keeps him in, and they see Jack 8. A good-looking flop for Thiago's 9s.
5.5.
Thiago does make a bet, 5.5 million. Call from Peter, 3 on the turn. Peter has a lot of ace-high floats, some straight draws that make natural bluffs. Obviously he has some Jack X. Wow, he's gone full pot, 24 million, I like it. As I say, Thiago has a fairly tight range, having opened from under the gun. Peter of the opinion that he's probably going to fold all his ace-highs. All his pocket pairs are going to be in a tough spot when he bets full pot. If he calls here, what is he going to do on brick rivers?
4.
River 5 brings backdoor diamonds. I wouldn't be surprised to see Peter check this back now. He does make the check back, tables his kings, and wins that pot. I think it's fine. It's hard for Thiago to hero off the way this hand's played out and with the ISM considerations. Enio has raised 5.5 with pocket 9 to the next seat. Mario 3-bets with queens from the cutoff. Yeah, I see most of you picking up in the chat. Diamond on the river is very relevant in that last hand. A lot of his turn bluffs would be some diamonds. Let's see how Enio's going to navigate this pot, having been 3-bet by Mario. Only 13 million total. It's going to flat to see the flop. Well, Enio's flopped a set, but an ace on board will slow things down here. The card Mario didn't want to see with his queens. Enio with a pretty clear check here. He's checked, and Mario his c-bet 12 million. I think a check back would have been preferable. betting once here does make it hard to get bluffed. Six on the turn. Expect it now to go check, check. Ah, he's not going to let that happen. Enio, I like it. Well, he's played with Mario, and maybe he knows Mario's betting some hands he shouldn't bet on the flop. He's going to try and get it in over 2 streets. Something around 12 million. There it is. But Mario not falling for it. Folds his queens. It'd be much better if Mario just checked back that flop.
It's a hand that you don't want a flat call with. So why do I like it? Because Thiago's got about 35 big blinds, and when people open off 35 big blinds, it's very hard for them to do anything other than shove or fold when you 3-bet them to the correct sizing.
Papo peels the big king, queen.
And let's say he's got king, queen off, he's going to hate his life, but probably sometimes call, maybe fold, I'm not sure, honestly. But he's definitely going to raise with hands like ace-5 suited, 8-9 suited, so he's going to be forced to fold a lot if he's folding ace-jack, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He's going to c-bet king-jack 3 with his gut shot draw.
Nice little down bet. You really, you're not trying to get in really tricky, tough spots against under the gun.
Queen is the gin
Queen
card
is
for
the
him.
one, isn't it?
Would get him Papo's stack.
See Thiago continuing here. 2 pair that he's made like king 4 suited, I think. Most of the time he's going to have king 5 suited through king 10, and almost none of those hands can call free, usually anyway.
Right.
So
let's put the cape on.
If Thiago, if another heart comes off, I imagine Thiago will definitely go 3 times. I think he's definitely going to bet this turn. And if the river comes a non-heart, we'll see what happens.
Also going 7.5. Nice playing out some extra chips. 8.5. So fraction under half pot. You're still happy with the situation, but you'd much rather hear him just check back that you know your king queen's good. You're going to win this pot.
Feels
Every pot's so
much better.
crucial when you're playing 30 big
When they
blinds.
check back the turn, you feel so much more comfortable about the river situation. Pot size dictates so much. His, how popular he is, etc. But he was in the celebrity game the other day, so he's not a professional. He's definitely held his own, for sure.
Well, he's definitely a good poker player.
Yeah. See, now, I wanted to see a heart, but he might still go... One thing is, though, he's got 37. He's got more than pot behind, Papo has.
Yeah.
And people like to set up the pot size river shove. So please check. Oh no, he's done it.
He's gone all in.
He's done it.
The turn bet.
I think he can find a call here, but it's tough. Capable of turning a flush draw and decided to go all the way. Ace queen, queen 10. Papo, when he's done it.
He's made the call. Huge call from Papo. Thiago down to 17.7 million.
Quickly as well.
Papo over the 100 million mark. Raise it up. Thiago, well, he's going to have a good shot on a double up here. Moves it all in for those.
I don't know, I got a bad feeling.
6 bigs.
Hey,
I didn't say he's going to double up. I say he's got a good shot on a double up. You get it in with 7s against a +1 raise. You're pretty delighted to find out he's got 2 cards below a 7. Grinders are going to grind. Deuce 4-5. Wow, Tom Hall called it.
After my result, I just took a few months to rest my voice.
A walking stick. Or
7.
He's walking out of here.
7.
Jack on the end and no good.
Good game.
Unlucky for Thiago. Handshakes all around.
Yep.
You say he took a shot. He ran a bluff. But he can't yet.
Yeah, I assume he's getting fed information. And, that he's been told that Mario's...
Oh, Mario just snap jams it in on him. And obviously he can't fold, having made it 22 million.
He's gone for it.
Wow,
he's gone for the spin. He's gone for the spin.
Sam's eyebrow says,
His eyebrow
raise, say it all. He's like, whoops.
Go for it.
He kind of 9-9.
Sam is sweating this hard. Like
This is
you're
one of these
sweating
you
this,
feel
yeah,
sick
you're
when you lose
yeah,
this one.
you feel so sick when you lose. Good hold.
Runs out
game.
nice.
I like the way Mario's played.
I
He's
like it.
made
Mario's
some
like,
really
exploit
nice
this,
calls.
pal.
Like he made a really nice hero earlier on day 2 or
That's
day
right.
3.
Yep, day 2.
He's played really good on the feature table.
And yeah, I built this is lasting a long time. The player's getting very deep now as we're 6-handed.
It's a tricky spot with King Queen, actually. It's nice to take a bluffing. It's nice to 3-bet bluff with King Queen, so you don't get into as many situations where you're just calling down, hoping to have the best hand. It's very nice to be the aggressor and not the caller. And check raising wouldn't even be like a nonsense play. You're going to have the most 10s in your range, and
Right.
You don't block any. This is what I'm talking about. Reverse implied.
Wow. Allow Sam to bluff with some of his floats.
Get wrecked, you're right. He did flop a set of 2s in that hand where he peeled deuces off 30.
Well, Papo checks, as I thought he would. I mean, just makes sense to check in the spot. You're going to check a lot of hands. It's a pretty good one to deal
I like
with.
the turn check,
You want to pop
but
control.
it's a weird spot where if it doesn't go check, if it goes check on the turn, you love the spot and you can now value bet the river comfortably. But when you check call, you might miss some value potentially. But there is no real other option, is there?
Well, this has worked out great in this particular situation because Sam is just going to value bet himself here.
I
Really
don't think
heavily.
he's going to bet. I think he might check.
Really?
Yeah.
Papo has some pocket pairs.
I think it's reason he
He doesn't like a
his,
snap. A snap is bad news.
He's not made any like tight folds, I would say.
No, peeling.
He could have peeled with ace-6 suited versus a 3-bet earlier, but I thought it would have been an inappropriate fold as far as I'm aware.
Wow, flops straight on the Queen Jack 10 board. Enio with second pair.
And just to note, we didn't even note that Enio's made a very loose open here.
It's opening up.
But it's a game flow open. This is why he's open, because he
hasn't played many hands.
He's using his squeeze-a-vig, as Phil Lark would say, where you sit there for a while and do nothing, and then you pull off a move just because you've been doing nothing.
Cool.
I think you just have to call. You just have to let him keep going. And as Enio, I really don't like this flop bet. It's kind of like he's bluffing. Like...
Oh, I thought he was reaching for chips. He's reaching for time chip.
Oh, he's time banked, is he?
26 million in the pot. Anton with 38 million behind. I can't say he can do anything other than check here.
Do I think 16 million would have gotten paid off?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think 16 million had to get paid off. Well, he has bet. Look at this, 8.2. I think this is just a case of he's just trying to protect his equity against straight draws. And
well, he's in that weird limbo spot where
doesn't want to check
he
back
wants
and call
to
a big bet on the river.
He wants to just pay 8 now and check the river always.
Right, and Anton, given he's seen a lot of strength here, well, I'm going to say there we go, he does just move all in. I mean, it just looks like he's up against the queen a lot, doesn't it?
I'm actually stroking my eyebrow.
Wow, he's
right now.
called.
He called. Oh Lord, this could be one of the ugliest suckouts. Like if he.
So not a call. Oh my God! Oh my God! That is sick.
What is this game? Like it's just so
Wow.
ridiculous. Like.
Look how that's changed things here. Anton Morgenstern out in 6 for 100k. Sam Grafton now the shortest stack 5-handed, but with 41 big blinds. And well,
how many chips was in that pot? He would have had like 140 million after doing nothing. Like he's had it so rough the whole time. And
yeah. Papo Undergun then gets it round to Sam, who's going to flat at the button with King 8 suited.
Wasn't Sam discussing with the floor about a 30-minute break?
Yeah, guys, this is the last hand for the break. I gather it was supposed to be 30 minutes, but we've just been told it's only 20.
Yeah,
so
I'm not sure.
Good for you guys watching.
I don't think he'll bet here. I think he'll just check. Yeah.
Yeah, does check. Not Papov, some smaller pairs, some ace highs.
Don't
Oh,
take
Papo
any photos.
check calls and pings top pair on the turn.
Yeah. Sam is in a bit of a weird spot. He's checked. Okay.
Wow, it's a chop on the river. Both players making Broadway.
Check.
It's Papo's just check calling, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
can't see him raising here. Can you, Sam? Can
But
you have houses?
I don't see Sam having that many bluffs either. I think you just kind of block bet really small and hope he calls with the like something. I don't know, something worse than a straight.
He does make the call. Lead holding 10-7. Oh, wow, King 10-10. Maybe this is the hand you were referencing then.
Oy.
Huge flop for Sam.
Now this is where Peter would get paid infinite with his.
Oh, Sam's checked back.
It's not a bad check.
Yeah, of course it isn't, but
No.
in this instance.
Yeah, it's just it's sad when you watch it back.
What does Papo do here then? Check again, or does he
I think
now
he
come up
starts betting.
Or you think Sam has enough showdown?
Just
hands?
feels like you're too high up your range to. King Queen is the best non-10 hand that you have, and if you're only betting 10s and straight draws and flush draws, you haven't got enough value hands. So I think King Queen is a bet.
He's bet. Sam's bet 11 into 16.5.
Not sure what's going on. Okay, I better go. Go, Reg.
All right, Tom. Well,
Yep.
best of luck.
And see, I'm probably not going to be back tonight.
No, well, good luck tomorrow as well in the main event.
See you guys. Bye.
Bring out a huge bet here. 38.5 in the pot. And he bets 50 million. Papo, one chip, cool. Gets the bad news. And that is a huge pot for Sam Grafton, up to 180 million. He's gone kind of small, 21.6. Oh, this is a pretty nasty spot for Nazar. He's going to have to just jam this, I think. I think just makes it impossible for Nazar to get away from. Wow. He does give it up to his rail. And look at this. Papo taking the shot. Well, this ain't going to work. And Nazar is pretty loving his fold right now because he'll assume Papo is very strong here. He's going to be delighted when Enio calls this and he sees that he would have been in very bad shape. He does flick in the call, and there was no way he could have folded that hand. Enio very happy to see he's against two undercards. Would have been happy to take a flip. Queen, Jack, Deuce, two hearts. Flops don't get much worse for Papo here. Will only be able to come fifth in the Rio Open. And the Jack seals his fate. Oh, Papo won a lot of fans both the other night and tonight. Fifth place for 140,000 reals.
Up the ladder. I mean, talk about nothing, right? Oh,
Raise.
Nazar, ace queen under the gun. Peter looks down at sevens. He's going to flat on the button. Well, he's gone 25. Actually, going a little smaller, not so bad. Given Nazar's opening offer, he does move all in. I can't really fault him for this one. He's the shortest of four. Peter folds. Enio is going to snap, and Nazar at risk. King on the turn is going to do it. That is the end of Nazar. Wow, they are falling fast here at the Copacabana Palace Hotel. Up to 390 million. Sam just laddering his way up. Now finds himself three-handed, guaranteed 300,000.
Every time I'm getting to average stack, you guys just bust people, and I'm suddenly short stack, you know? I'm doing my best here.
Raise.
26 minutes.
Did you look at your card?
Yeah, of course.
Because you're talking to your friend and you just buy them.
Sam opens.
You're
Enio
always
3-bets
looking
him once
for
again.
distraction.
King Jack. Sam is obviously going to have to call to see a flop with 60 million in a pot. Sam, the shortest of 3.
Can you see?
Queen, Jack, A. Enio flopping top pair. Sam's second pair. Enio quickly reaching for some chips. This is a flop that's going to hit Sam a reasonable amount.
22
So
million.
it is a little concerning when he's bet into.
700. Oh. 42 million inside.
Turn at 9. This should shut things down. Sam picking up a gut shot draw. But both players won't like that card. Although we never know. It looks like he is counting out chips and he's going to bet again. He is relentless. 30 million. I think Sam just has to give this one up. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but Sam, king nine of clubs on the button. Of course, a raise 300.
Really? 80 minutes.
Peter, queen 9 in the big, flicks in the call. These two battle out over the Jack 7-4-2 club flops. Sam flopping a flush draw. Quite a coordinated board. Does decide to check it back. Sam now either going to bet or check back. Try and get king high to showdown. Stroke make his draw. River pairs the 4. Good card for Sam. He's going to do it. He's going to bet big. Seems to always do this. And does it again. 31.5. Loves the over bet. Even go to value hard with a jack. 5-6. And he knows that Sam's seen him bet big like this multiple times. Every single time he's had the hand. Peter, queen, jack in the small blind. Looks like he's counting out a 3-bet here. Very strong hand, 3-handed. 4x is it, 40 million to play. I think Enio is best served by playing this as a call. Does make the call. This pot a good one for Sam to see the big stacks going at it. Don't know if Enio will pick up on that. He sees a king 9-5 2 club flop. There's a gut shot draw. It looks like going pretty small, having 3-bet pre-flop.
22.
Yeah, a quarter pot. Wow, Peter counting out a big raise. Guy's instincts are spot on. And he does raise. 52.5 million to play, another 30 million to Peter.
52 million.
And well, Peter might be suspicious. What hand would Enio raise with on this flop? Not a lot of hands would raise. How can he possibly continue with a gut shot, no club? Quite visibly. Getting over 5-1. I mean, it just strikes me as someone who's on a draw. 4 of spades on the turn. Peter checks. Enio quickly reaching for chips once again. I like the speed he plays at. He does find a bet once again. 56 million. This must be the end of this pot. Surely there is no way Peter can continue here. It's gut shot straight draw. Or double flush draw board. Does let it go. Enio crosses the 500 million mark.
Two black queens.
Looks like he is cracking out the 3-bet.
Okay.
25 million. Will Enio 4-bet or will he flat? This is a gin spot for him. Love to see him flat, but he's played everything pretty straightforward in his value hands at least. Quickly counts out a 4-bet to 68 million, and Pete is thinking, really, what is going on? He is going to call in position. Sam Grafton, a keen observer on this one. May will find himself layering up. Jack 6-3, 1 club. A board that Enio's going to want to c-bet a high frequency on, having 4-bet pre. And Peter may well take a card off here. Ace high, well, certainly for this size he will. Ace high and backdoor clubs, 32 million the bet. If Peter really thinks Enio was very nutted pre-flop, he will fold. There we go. So he does give him credit for that hand pre-flop. Makes it 35, leaving 110 back. Enio putting the popcorn down. Study this one. It's ace 4. He's not ready to give it up just yet. Flicks in the chips for a call with ace 4 offsuit on the button. Again, another big pot with these guys. 78 million chips. As we see a queen, 8, deuce, all club flop. Neither player has a club. Not a board Peter can be wild about. Don't think he can do anything but check here. Just to hope Enio checks back as well. Enio instantly reaching for chips. Fires out 25 million. Peter's feeling a little sick. The only course of action is to call. Does put in those chips. Six of diamonds on the turn. Peter checks once more. Surely Enio will slow up now and most likely allow Peter to win this one at showdown. Does check it back. Repeat 6 on the end. Feeling this one will go check, check once more. He's pretty certain he has the best hand here, but there aren't many hands that Enio would have bet a flop with that can call the river that aren't better. Wow! Snap all in when it goes check on the river. The guy has heart. Instantly moving all in. Peter's now wondering, what is he up against? Could he have flopped a flush? Could he check back a queen and then value the river? If he has a big club, why would he not just jam me on the turn? That's what he's thinking. He knows that Enio can be as wide as ace 4 offsuit pre-flop, then this would be a call. Don't know if he's giving him credit for playing this out of line. He does throw in the call. Shows jacks and will double up. Sam disappointed to see that. He is now comfortably the shortest stack. He was very close to finding himself heads up in his mind. Which is, I believe, coming close to the end of day one.
I was trying to sneak it. This how about my hands?
20 to 12 here. Sam limping at the button. Enio completes. Peter checks. Sam gives him Broadway. He's going to bet. And again, this is not really designed to make anyone fold anything stronger. It's just the knockout hands that would have equity, like Peter's 7-8, that are never going to put a chip in the pot. Oh, Sam is going to go the other way. He's going to put pressure on Jack X, Queen X. But he limped the button. His first open limp for a long time, and may lean towards having some half-decent Broadway cards, so you could have a hand like 2-pair or flips straight. Top pair just too strong to be folding at this stage. And Sam, from what you've seen of Enio, may just have to give this up as we head to the river. And I think definitely has to give up now. Hard for him to rep a strong hand when the queen pairs. He does check. Sam checks back. Does still, of course, beat some hands. Straight draws that maybe picked up diamonds that could have called. But he loses that one and drops to just 106 million. Enio raising the button. 11.2 million. Sam defends. King 9 of spades. This will be a theoretical check back for Enio. Does do just that. Queen on the turn gives both players a gut shot. Sam going to fire out on the turn, 12 million. Interesting. Enio won't be going anywhere for this bet. Deuce on the end. Will Sam fire another bullet? 62 million, a huge bet here from Sam, and this should get the job done. And this is nice. He knows Enio basically never has better than one pair the way this has played out. So is able to fire a big bluff, knowing it has a very high success frequency. And there we go. Well played, Sam. Can't really fault Enio. He couldn't do much there. Well, look at this. Enio, first hand back, raising the button with ace-10 of clubs. Peter coming out with a 3-bet straight away from the small blind. 52 million. And, well, these guys have played a lot of really big pots. And you could almost say Sam has been kind of unlucky in that he hasn't got himself heads up with one of them yet, because these guys are just clashing. He does make the call, so again,
feels good with his kings, and of course, hello, right away, no waiting. Ace on the flop, and you know, it's just it almost feels unfair. Your head's up, you got kings in a pot, you're three-handed, and the ace comes out. So looks like he is going to still take the lead in the hand. Yeah,
he's going to take some non-standard lines against Enio just because of this, the way these guys have been playing. And I think backdoor clubs.
Yeah.
Lots of good things can happen down the streets.
Yeah, just definitely going to see a turn. Flicks it in.
Peter's just thinking, why did the ace come? 174 million chips. Well, diamond on the turn. Peter picks up that nut flush draw.
Definitely an interesting card. He's turns more outs. Also does have the nut blocker in the hand. It is three-handed. Enio sure doesn't love that card. He's still in a little bit of a weird spot already. He could be unlucky to be behind on that flop, but he knows it's possible.
All right, and Peter checks. Imagine this one would go check, check. He plays mostly as you'd expect, but then just throws in something off the cuff occasionally. A red card on the river, but it is a heart, so Peter with just those kings.
The flop calls a bet and sort of hoping, I guess his opponent has queen jack, queen 10 type of hand, just hoping he's somehow good here.
Right. And Enio, does he value bet here then? I mean, it's like for sure you can be betting into a stronger hand here still, right? You know, Peter may check a stronger race here.
Yeah.
pot control.
I think he's thinking, what would he do with ace jack, ace king, and he kind of decides that he would have bet those hands most likely on the river. So frustrating, three-handed. You're just like, how can
Got
it?
the kings.
How does it really come? How do they really have it? Discipline fold.
Great fold. Enio back over the $500 million chip mark.
Go to bat for everyone. You know, they're in there, they're hanging out, they support. No matter how big or small final table, you're going to see the friends there watching. That's really nice.
Yeah, I like that. But they're forming on the different side as well. Enio's got his guys behind him. Sam.
Yeah, everyone's got a rail. It's nice.
It's a lot of binds, that's for sure. Pitch some of those to him in between hands. This one, well, Sam's...
Wow, what a turn.
Oh, wow.
I mean, this run out is absurd. Sam goes from, like, how frustrated. You got your guy, you're just ready to, like, peg someone, and then he just gets to, well, I mean, it's a silly run out. And so he's, looks like, what, he's blocker betting, what, he bet $6 million on the river.
betting $6 million, just a little block bet, trying to get a little thin value, perhaps.
Didn't actually, I kind of blacked out during the action pre-flop, so I didn't see any of it, but I would imagine pret's safe to think the king is good. I don't think it's
yeah,
unlikely
it was limped blind on blind, and
Okay.
it's just gone check through to here. Sam's just going to feel a little sick. Enio raises up the river.
You know, it's a really, these are the type of things I see. You know, Sam, I know, does a lot of work on his game, and I've seen a lot of impressive results. But you know, it's interesting in these spots where you get like a really bad river. Does it make more sense to check call or block or bet? Because Peter has had kings, queens, queens.
Oh wow! Well, you boxed him instantly
I know,
there.
Sorry, that was.
You gave him the old. He's running good. He limps in with queens. Sammy Squid with the butchers raising it up. Peter moves all in. Sam snaps, of course, and Peter well shrugs because that's just the way it goes sometimes. And this is a huge pot, 303 million. Jack on the turn. Didn't want to see paint. Paint gets you scared. Just got to fade a queen on the river. 5 of hearts. All good for Sam, and he gets that full double up. And for the first time in the tournament, it's over 300 million in chips. And it is Peter now who has dominated the final table for the first few hours. Now the shortest stack with 3 left, just over 20 bigs himself. Enio with king queen off in the big blind. Surely he's raising it up.
Wow.
Seeing a raise and a call in front. And yeah, he is cutting out chips. Makes it 42 million to play. I like the sizing. 4xing. Obviously, the pressure, that puts not much pressure on Peter, just 3-betting him puts pressure on, but it's getting past Sam, should it go that far. Peter, of course, all in with his ace-10, so a chance to double back up here for the Canadian. 9 doesn't change anything, just a king or queen on the river for Enio, otherwise Peter will double up. Seven of spades.
Nice.
A double for Peter. So yeah, now this is very different. We're going to see. We're going to see it like we've seen a
serious match.
Yeah, we've seen Sam kind of like navigating around with 20 bigs for a while, but now things are different. Do play some big pots. You know, you're in a tough lineup. It's fine to play big pots.
Yeah.
See and notice the blinds now going up to 3 million, 6 million.
He checks, he limps in, okay, limp and Sam check back, right? This one we saw, I think earlier, he raised and folded.
Yeah, of course, change in stacks now, so it does make things a little different. There's all 3 of them between 40 and 60 big blinds. Not supposed to play too many big pots with each other.
Wow.
There we go. Sam finds the straight on the end. Not a run out. I don't think Peter's going to be too wild about. He knows Sam's not just going to be betting this flop 0 equity, so spade draw completes, and any of the straight draws on the flop are basically ahead of him now.
It's an important pot. Take jockey position here. You can see whoever wins this pot is going to have bigger lead. I don't think Peter's in a raising position. He's trying to see what could he have, what bluffs do I beat.
Right. So you think your hand's like 9-10, 9-jack, Jack-10 maybe, but some of those are going to check back, right? Strong gut shots. He's thrown in the chip. And Sam shows the 7-5. Sam up to 335. Peter down to 200. And we've got an accusation coming through, Jeff, on Twitch that I'm sure you're going to put to bed.
And yeah, again, different stack size, different situations. You saw Sam limping 6-9, Queen 10, Jack 5. Here he is raising 10-8, and that's just a function of different stack sizes, different positions, and you know, in terms of the chip stacks, who's got the chips, what position he's in, and now it looks like he's gonna.
Yeah, he's going to. I mean, the 3-bet maybe could have been a little bit bigger, less than 3x.
Yeah, this
Sam's going to peel a lot of hands.
Plays pretty well in this particular spot.
Adjusting to this flop texture, and Sam will check back, try and make his hand.
You don't want to just give up, but you also don't want to just blast off. And I think Sam at this point is determined that his opponent even has like an ace-king, ace-jack, ace-x, something that he would probably be betting. He blocks 10s, which would be a hand might check back. So there's not a ton of hands he thinks his opponent's going to check twice that he's not ahead of now.
Right. Oh, well, the raise was coming there. So Sam is getting action from a weaker hand, which is another benefit of betting here. He has bet very small, of course, 18 into 82. 5 of spades on the end, so that turn flush draw comes in.
Yeah, I think part of that, too, is he just doesn't want to give a free card to ace-king, ace-jack.
And Sam will table the winning hand. And he is above 400 million now. Now the clear chip leader, having been short for most of this final table.
Okay.
There's a lot of gin on that rail.
Oh, yeah. A couple of drinks there. Diedrich, I was playing him with all day. He definitely had a few.
Why do you sound so disappointed? Can't you fucking hang me, you guys? It's a classic. I nearly went all in pre.
I got to be more aware. I didn't know the first 1K I played, the first time I entered, I didn't know you could re-enter on the same day, too. Like, it threw for like a while.
And this Enio
Table
raising
awareness,
the button. Sam, I think, just moving all in from the big here with 7s. For what, about 40 bigs effective, a little bit less. Big blind is now 6 million. And don't see Enio calling this one off with King Queen, but
You kind of have to realize you're probably not ahead, but you're doing well against ace jack, ace 10, a lot of pairs.
Let's it go. Sam in the small, limping in with ace 7. Enio popping it up, Queen, Jack. Now Sam, is he going to drop the hammer here?
He's got an
30
interesting
bigs.
spot,
Seems like that's probably a little bit too much, right?
The thing is, he's also just been navigating so well, keeping the pot small.
Right.
He's got him in right where he wants him. He's
8-8-5, good flop for Sam's hand.
Yeah, not going to be going anywhere for any kind of bet, that's for sure.
Well, Sam's cutting out a bet here.
I wonder if he's trying to get him to fold a better ace high sometimes with how this is played. He could have ace 10, ace jack, ace queen, ace king. And what is his bet size?
This is kind of weird. Yeah, about half pot, a little bit more.
I think that's what he's thinking, that his opponent may have a better ace.
Well, I think, I mean, is he really going to fold with 3 8s on the board? It just doesn't seem like he'd fold that. I wonder if he's trying to get him to call with worse hand, like king high or queen high. Just, you know, it's trips on board. We're playing Hold'em blind on blind.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, you're right.
Yeah, and there we go. It has worked. He got him to call with queen high.
That's thin. That is a thin call.
Wow. Everything going the way of the squid. Enio down to just 21 bigs. And I mean, Peter's going to defend a6, but he's not looking to play big pots right now. Sam can put pressure on him. He knows that Enio is going to be all in fairly soon, playing sub 20 bigs three-handed. Especially with the big blind ante, you know, these pots are big.
Yep.
Ace 8-4. He does check But he is going to bet.
Yeah, I think he bets here. I mean, this is one of those spots where Peter gets, he's got a big, you know, this is a dream spot. You got top pair, your hands under repped. Or it was, I'm sorry, was it limp?
It was a raise from Sam.
Oh, he.
So Peter's defended.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Sam limped in there, so interesting.
Yeah, with a call. And like I say, Sam would be able to apply a lot of pressure, but with a pair, I think he's more inclined to get to showdown.
Wow.
Well, it's easy like that. Just turn 2 pair. Peter picks up a gut shot draw to go with his ace. This is nice for Sam because he's supposed to be bluffing a lot. The ICM, the way it is.
Yeah, this
nice.
is
It's nice when you're supposed to be putting pressure on someone and you just have it.
It's a pretty crazy turn.
Look at this. He's counting out a big bet. Looks like about pot. Oh, throw a little bit more on top. Why not? 60 mil. Peter just feels sick. He got top pair, but the other guy only has 20 bigs.
Picked up, you know, Jack 10 of hearts, some kind of heart draws as he, or some no equity bluffs possibly, or gut shot bluffs here.
Peter just has to call with top pair and a gut shot as well.
Yeah.
You can't be folding that. It's way exploitable. King on the end.
Super clean.
Yeah. Heart
River.
draws miss. All the extra straight draws miss.
He could do like 90, like 115 or something, like 100 or like 90, just something where it's like he would bluff, but he doesn't want to risk all that, but he wants to put him to be the shortest stack. I think he does. He could have two, but
2 sizings?
he could. But it's like I guess he's trying to think.
He does move all in. But
I'm
yeah,
thinking
I can see the
what he thinks he's getting called with. I guess the ace makes sense, but and here's Peter going through in his head, just thinking about what to do, and I don't think he's going to be able to fold this.
This feels pretty grim. He has
Everything
a 6 blocking
misses,
that
too.
straight. He has an ace. Obviously, not just giving himself top pair, but does block those 2 pair combos. Yeah, he does make the call. Peter winces. And the man who was the chip leader on this final table for such a long time is going to depart in 3rd place. And, I don't think that's a mistake.
Nice result. 300,000 reais.
Wow.
Really well played. See him doing his rounds.
I think he played. There's only one hand I didn't like, which was the call with the
Ace
8
8 of
against
clubs, yeah.
Sam. But other than that, he's a better poker player than me, so what do I know? But other than that, I think he's just played amazing. And Sam, well, what a rush he's had. Enio, well, delighted to be heads up. He only has 20 big blinds. Enio on the button. You see the chip deficit there. Sam with more than a 7-1 lead. A 7-1 lead. Does decide to check his option. I can tell you we have done the draw for the golden ticket winners for the question of the day for today. I will announce those shortly. Sam continues to run good, flopping top pair on 6 deuce 5. Checks it to Enio, who checks back. Turn, wow, 7 top 2 against Enio's open-ended straight draw. So we'll see some action. Enio calls with his draw and overcards. Get something going here. Well, there it is, 9 on the end. Gives him a straight. Sam with 2 pair. He should be able to get paid off here. Well, he just moves all in. First hand of heads up. Sam has 2 pair and his opponent has moved all in. Maybe he has some 1 pair hands he's turning to bluff. Sam makes the call. Enio quickly tables the straight. And there we go. Suddenly we have a game of it. Enio then nearly 40 bigs now. It's interesting. Yeah, Sam really hasn't. I think he's knocked out. Trying to think if he knocked anyone out on this final table before.
Peter, yeah.
Knocking out Peter. I think he's just somehow got a huge chip lead heads up without really ever winning all ins.
It's a board where heads up, hard to make a pair. Both players do. Kind of wrapped around in there too. Enio with the bottom pair, and he's got some pretty good turn cards.
Yeah. Does bet a blind when checked too. Sam, of course, calling with second pair. For you on Twitch, well, there we go. There is one of those good cards for Enio. Well, how much is he going to bet? 35 million chips in the pot. Goes big, just throws in what he has in his right hand. That equates to 30 mil. A little concerning with the sizing.
It's also not, it's not the best card, really. I mean, his mind, it does connect in with a lot of what's going on there. It does give him some equity for a straight.
7 on the end. Guessing this one's going to go check now. Hard to see how Enio can ever bet this one. Already 95 million in there. He bet pot on the turn effectively.
This is a curious spot. I think you're right. I think it will go check, but yeah, it wouldn't be the most insane bet ever, but
right.
I think it is more likely going to go that way. And
yeah, I think once he's gone big on the turn, it makes it
yeah,
harder to value bet this river,
he got
right?
his size and then got it up on the turn.
I see Lady Gabalina say, Jeff, I really have good feelings about you this week. All the signs are pointing to big things. Signed by Party Poker, first major live event in your wife's backyard. About to have your first child.
I
All
love
the wrong
it.
good, pointing to a major bink. I was thinking, wow, I thought it was going to be over on hand one.
Yeah.
Called the all-in river bet.
Yeah, he was on the turn with 2 pair, clean.
Top 2 pair, just on a rainbow board.
Yeah.
First hand. Enio raising up to 20 on the button, ace jack. Sam, queen 4. He wants to see the flop. Of course, Enio with gut shot, straight draw, and an overcard, and jack of spades. It looks like a kind of a little bit of everything going on hand, doesn't it?
Yeah. Sam does have a spade as well, a low one, but this is a...
I think Enio can just check this one back. Such a strong hand, so many good turn cards. But again, bet wouldn't be terrible. He just knocks out a lot of Sam's random cards that have equity. There it is, king on the turn.
It's got to be a good feeling. You got the stone cold nuts, 47 million in the pot. You're closing the gap.
Gonna feel even better when Sam calls here.
Kind of don't love it. I mean, you still got to feel decent about it, but you're all of a sudden, you're just,
right.
It's hard to really improve in your mind. Like, you know, there's not a lot of great situations. Ooh, almost could have got really in trouble there. 4. Instead, he's going to check, and now.
Which is definitely possible. I like it, 70.5. There we go.
It's a genuine question.
Making a bad call here. What do you think? Have you got anything?
But there aren't many zero equity bluffs either, right? It's Jack X is the most likely bluff.
It's a big pot. He gets paid here, and we got it's a ball game.
Jack 8 bet the flop with a gut shot. Jack 9, like you say. I like this fold from Sam. I don't think there are enough natural bluffs there.
Yeah.
You're looking at what, Jack 7, Jack 6.
Yeah, I agree. So min raising.
Yeah.
A little more.
Throwing in 10 on top. And wow, some action perhaps. 9-8 deuce. Sam flopping top pair. Enio with second pair. Those are big hands in a heads-up match. Top pair and second pair.
Yep.
Sam with a very clear bet. Enio will just call here. Pair. Enio might have picked up this exact kind of thing, like a pair, a straight draw to go with his pair now. May have had a hand like 6-7. Picks up some stuff, so he can get some value from some weaker hands here with the second barrel.
Yep.
Doesn't want to give a free card.
Does size up a bit.
And it's similar to the first hand we saw in the heads up when Sam had 2 pair against a straight draw. Big pot forming here. Enio with pot behind as we head to the river.
What's up, big dog air?
And just like the first hand of the heads up, Enio has made the straight.
Pretty crazy runouts for Sam. I mean, he's been getting... It's interesting, right? With the stack to pot exactly one. It's like, what is his real...
He's going to bet about half his stack. Well, Sam's going to not even think about it. Good fold from Sam. Going to figure that out pretty well, though. His opponent check calling the turn, must have picked up some equity. Big blind ante changed the game again.
That's what's really cool as well. Like, you start thinking like, oh, poker's been around forever. Technology's better now. Things are better. But then yet every year there seems to be innovation. There seems to be massive changes. It wouldn't surprise me in 5 years, 2 years where it'll be like weighted tables where the chips will like show you how much chips people have in front. And, and there's just a lot of room for things to go.
I mean, I think, there's here we go, Sam opening the button. Enio coming out with a 3-bet, 47.5 million to play.
Wow, like the sizing. I guess he's out of position. It's a little less than 3x, but it's a difficult hand. Sam's got one of those hands. It's a little difficult to maneuver. Kind of hit your hand. You don't know if you're in the right spot or not. Maneuvers.
Well, this is an interesting flop. Sam pairs the second card and has backdoor nut hearts. Enio has gutshot draw and his 2 overcards.
It's a very, very dicey board.
Right. It's not a board that should be Enio, it should be Sam. So he has checked, but it is one of the candidates that maybe he can whip in as a bluff. Well, like I said, he did check it. Now he's going to bet the turn. This is pretty fun. Obviously, easily beaten this hand, but it's heads up. It's a 3-bet pot.
3-betting pretty. Pocket 8s, ace 8 suited, but there's not a ton. So for him to comfortably lead out here, it's working out in his favor. But I think Sam, how he's thinking about this is he doesn't think he has an 8.
Right.
So what is he
like
betting?
King, Jack, King, Queen, Queen, Jack. These hands that turn some equity.
And if you thought you had the best hand, you probably think you have the best hand now. And this is tough, Enio. I don't know. It's gonna be hard for him to bet here. Yeah, he's
check, and Enio will now have the chip lead. Enio has come back from massively behind to being our chip leader. Yeah, and again, as obviously playing 3-bet pots as the blinds are going up, stacks are getting shallower. Sam probably wants to avoid getting into these big decisions. I think he feels if he can keep the small pots, he can perhaps get the best of Enio over multiple streets. Of course, as it gets shallower and shallower, that becomes less of a concern. At some point, you have to go with it.
big card here for, wow, the action card in the deck. Enio makes the 10, but Sam is going to pick up a flush draw. See 24 million in the pot. He is going to bet, looks like around 3/4 pot. Exactly 3/4. So this is going to be definitely, going to be a call, and interesting river coming here. Sam's jack would be good. Needs a diamond. The backdoor, that backdoor flush is no matter what. It's nothing. It always seems very sneaky when they come through. And look at that.
There it is.
Gin.
It is.
Now it isn't over to the 10. It does connect pretty well with the board here. Enio, I mean, this is not. This is this
is one of the worst diamonds to hit in terms of getting paid off.
Yeah. It's also. Yeah, it's. Let's see what he's going to do for sizing here. Oh. Wow, he goes huge.
Shade under the pot. 55 into 60.
Gets.
Wow, and Enio called pretty quickly there. I'm surprised about that.
Yeah.
That seems interesting to me because
he doesn't have a diamond. He also has a 5.
Right.
It's 5/7.
The
is
natural
a likely
bluffs
buck.
are the low straight draws, right?
He's got one of. Yeah, he's got a pretty bad hand in terms of hands. He's. Yeah.
I think Sam's having a good time.
Diedrich as well. Diedrich fast on the rail, leading the charge.
Lines up. 5 million, 10 million.
This is fun. I'm glad.
You said you were going to come in, and I found you at like 1 in the morning walking back with ice cream, you know, like rumbled.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I hit. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. We're here now.
Enio with 38 bigs, Sam with 50 as he move into this new level. 5 million, 10 million.
The two pretty looking hands. Jack 9 suited. Connectivity, playability, the ace 10 off heads up. Monster hand. He's also not, you know, as the blinds go up, we get more and more shallow, and definitely never upset getting ace 10 heads up, that's for sure. But
you want to 3-bet it. You're not loving it if you're not getting this in, though.
And Sam
kind of has to call here, right, for 3x. Got such a pretty hand.
These are spots you kind of hate, though, because like even at this depth too, it's like if somehow your opponent has like queens plus, you flop top pair, you're just like kind of stuck with it. Ooh,
ace queen 6, maybe not, and flopping top pair.
I mean, there's just not a lot of hands that you are scared of.
You're not beaten by one pair, put it that way. So you're gonna fire this in, and of course it's a board he's gonna want to continue on a lot, having 3-bet pre-flop. So. Does bet his 1 pairs as well.
Sam's interesting. He a lot of times in the hand he won't put his hoodie over it, but after a hand, whether he wins or loses, almost like he doesn't want to show the smile like when he wins a pop, but like he doesn't want to look frustrated. I've never seen someone do that. But like during the hand, he doesn't necessarily do it all the time.
Jack, deuce, 3, 2 spades. Sam nailing that one. Again, a flop he's going to want to attack. He does decide to check back this time, and what a decision it was as Enio picks up a pair on the turn.
Yeah, weak top pair. Taking a little higher variance there, letting some free pulls come off. But again, like it's kind of unlikely your opponent has queen king or 2 overs, so really maybe you run the risk of the 1 over card hitting him. But other than that, you let him pick up a taste just like this.
Yeah, it's going to work out perfect here as he bets 40 million on the turn. Enio, of course, can't fold. You would expect Sam to bet almost all his Jack X on the flop, and it's decent.
Gonna call on the turn. I don't know.
I think Sam's got a pretty good idea. He's up against like a 6 or a 3 or a 2 here.
Yeah.
Gonna go for some big value, half pot.
Big.
And there is a call from Enio. Huge pot for Sam.
Oh, a little smirk. He let the smirk over the hoodie.
Behind the hoodie. So suddenly the effective stack shallowed again.
Yeah, it's frustrating too when you're just in there with the garbage hand, Jack 6 off, but it's actually ahead, and then you just kind of have to just feel kind of handcuffed.
King 7, 6. Let's go check, check. An interesting card on the turn. Sam picks up a straight draw, 3 or 8. Enio does decide to bet now with his 3rd pair. Wow. Makes it 60 million.
He's got the 9, 8, 9. I mean, would he check back 8, 9 on the flop?
Enio's playing pretty quick. I would like to see him think a little bit more about that one.
When you're blind level, 6, 12, 12, please.
I have no experience in playing this kind of 4 heads up with such a big ante. I don't know if you have. I haven't really spent much time thinking about the adjustments you have to make with a short stack.
It's a nice looking board. Actually, well, everyone's got it.
Yeah.
A little something.
Sam with a flush draw and over to the 7, and Enio with a 7. Just go check, check. Wow, 7 on the turn. Gin for Enio turns a house.
Sam with 10 high, but he does have the flush draw in his mind. Probably thinks it's good, and that is.
Wow, this is pretty fun.
Whoa.
I mean, Enio's made quads, but it looks like a chop pot.
That's sick.
He's just moving it in, and Sam's not going to call for a chop. I would prefer, I think, to see. And if Enio just checks the river there, Sam's going to be very tempted to bluff that himself, right?
I think so. I remember Boosted J back in the day at the Bellagio broke his leg at the mid-final table. I don't know if you remember that.
Wow,
Celebrating
really?
in the hand, yeah. That's what Mike Sexton was calling it, yeah.
Oh, we got an all-in and a call. Enio all in with Queen 10. Sam has made the call with Ace 6. Oh, 9-8 deuce. Enio needs a Queen Jack or 10.
7 will be fun.
Bang!
Oh.
There it is. 10 on the turn. 6 on at the end.
Wow.
Not enough. There we go. Enio back in it.
Enio.
346 million. Yeah, it was such an obvious thing. It's like one of those things like, how is that not always the case?
Yeah.
Action here, perhaps. Sam with Jack Deuce pairing a deuce. Enio with 5 deuce making 2 pair. With bottom pair, he's deciding to do so. Enio just snap jams. Trying to catch Sam with a stronger 1 pair hand. Here we go. Stacks leveling again. Enio up to 423. No use though, as Enio flops a pair. And he stabs with. Jack high, not good enough to get the showdown. Does bet 14. Plenty of good turn cards for him to continue on. Although we can see in this instance, all those straight draws he could pick up would be...
Looking for a heart of some sort, but is Enio going to give up on a barrel with a 10? He does go for it. Interesting sizing. I guess this is one of those ones where you just in your mind, he's like saying, well, if a heart comes, maybe I'll rip it. If a
heart or a straight
an
card.
ace or a
queen, then 9, 7 maybe.
Oh,
well,
and just
backdoor
pretty
diamonds.
tough story to tell all of a sudden, but just give it up.
Gives it up. Enio wins at showdown and now has a 5-4 lead. Enio ace jack raising up the button.
Enio still with the lead.
Wow, he's going for the 3-bet and well, Enio ace jack of diamonds. This is a pretty easy one. Those chips will be finding their way to the middle. You would bet a lot of money on that. He's safe. Verbal is binding. All in. Sam's like, really? Enio with the biggest lead he's had. Nearly a 2-1. Deuce flips up and I get replaced with
8 suited.
Yeah, now I've got like
9-10 suited or
9-10 suited. Saying now I'm playing a big part and I'm like, I'm not supposed to be in this spot.
Right.
That's not how the gods drew it up.
Right. He can put some pressure here now. He could be the one stuffing it in. Put Sam in some tough
Pops
spots.
top 2 again. This is gonna be a big one. I mean, it already is a big one by the fact it's a raised pot when these guys are so shallow.
With his stack, but I guess it's just a little too much to fold, maybe.
Right.
But sort of, if he had like 400 or 350, it's a lot different. 200 is tough.
A lot of good turn cards for him. He's going to need to find one of them.
That is a stone cold break.
6 on the turn. Sam checks. And yeah, of course, going to have to bet this, and that will knock Sam off this particular holding. And he's going to have a huge chip lead after this hand. He does bet 100, half of Sam's remaining chips. And yeah, Sam just has to let this go, doesn't he? He can be ahead of some hands, some draws. Obviously, the king in your hand's not great. Blocking some straight draws. Does give it up. Huge lead now for Enio. Over 3-1 for the first time in this match. 3-1 lead. Seems like a long time ago we lost Peter in 3rd place, picking up 300 reals. Enio has jam. Sam snaps. Here we go.
King Queen. Enio lost a huge pot earlier. If he won that King Queen to Ace 10, I believe it was, this might have been over a long time ago as well.
Yep, against Peter.
So even if Sam were to hold, he would still be out chipped.
Yep.
And
ace deuce 4. It's a pretty good start. Enio needing runner help. Enio needs paint, and there is some paint. Gives him a gut shot straight draw. Need a player with a diamond.
He covers the face again on the river. That is, I gotta start doing that.
Let's see if it works.
Oh, he fades it again.
River 5. Double up for Sammy Squid.
I'm not saying the tournament directors choose sides, but I can tell you on that all-in, I know who people were rooting for here.
Yeah, once it gets to a point, you should always root for the guy with the most chips.
But that's when I started, man. Those were the days. It was crazy. I love that software, even the original party software.
Yeah,
those chairs.
the kind of goofy.
Yeah, I loved it. They still have that
avatars.
skin, I think, or they did until last year. So. Spirit in Motion says 4:45 alarm, obligation of a responsible man. Yeah, I mean, whoa. Look at this. Look at this action. Oh.
Wouldn't you know it?
Unreal.
Sam with 2 pair. Enio still has his straight. Is going to bet small 16 million. 1 blind. Raising his 2 pair. Wow, this is kind of unorthodox line.
Wow.
Enio calls with his straight 100.
Wonder if Sam's got a diamond bluff up his sleeve on the river too.
Wow, river pairs a card that doesn't give him the full house.
It's pretty sick. Is he gonna shell it or is he gonna check off? Yeah.
Checks, and Enio restores that 2-1 lead. Flops a straight. That's kind of a funky hand.
Very funky.
Western Europe.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere with Diedrich. He's had a few drinks. Looked like he was slowing down a bit.
8 a.m. in the UK. Probably some people throwing it on, rooting on for Sammy Squid.
Yeah. He's played a hell of a match. Unbelievable. Enio too, man. I'm impressed. This has been a battle.
Look
This has
at
been
this.
an absolute battle.
Sam limping in with a 9-7. Enio raising it up with King 7. Sam cooling. Enio managing to get some chips in here as a heavy favorite to King 7.
I've been surprised many times tonight with the results of all-ins and situations and predictions.
Oh, he's bet big. Look at this. He's bet 80. Come on, Sam. Just all in. Surely. When he calls here, once he put the cool chips in, there'll be 260 in the pot. Well, he is just going to call. Allow Enio to bluff, but obviously Enio's at 230 back with 260 in the pot, holding a pair of 7s. It's always the card that kills it. Always the one that kills it. Incredible.
And
The one card Sam
has
didn't
to
want to see.
probably be thinking, like, I was going to just let him blast off, but he actually wasn't. He was for value. And is there any chance he could think? No, he thought he had the best hand, so.
It's check, check. Enio can't wait to turn it over. And Sam will see he's dodged one here.
Call.
10-9-8. Sam flops 2 pair. Enio picks up a gut shot straight draw.
The turn. Oh.
4, no help. Just a 7 now for Enio will do this. King on at the end. I think is that the card Sam called for was a king?
Yeah.
Well, when you got it, you got it. He doubles up, retaking the chip lead. Does the rounds. Sam limping the button.
2 grown men play for $300,000 and that's eat chocolate bar, you know? We're 8.
Enio checks his option with King at 7. Well, here we go.
There's a flop.
Flush draw for Enio, second pair for Sam. This is going to be interesting if it.
Check. Check. All in. Ending call.
Yeah, I went back check. 9-6 unit.
All in.
Could have done without the flop.